2015 Wisconsin Regional Championship. I am Kyle Pukasukovic, and I am joined by Andrew Mahone. Should be a familiar face. He won our regional championship not too long ago in St. Louis. Andrew, how you feeling after starting 7-0 in this one?
Oh my God, I'm really excited. I'm playing a deck that I'd never played in a tournament before, a new format entirely. I'm seeing things I had no idea that I would be seeing. So I'm just really excited. I mean, I through the roof. I couldn't even ask for you couldn't ask for a better situation. So I'm really excited about it.
All right, so take us through your thought process. What made you play a deck centered around Raichu?
All right, so like the last month, I've really been testing the Dragon Rayquaza deck. I really don't, during St. Louis Regionals, I was playing Crobat Landorus. It was like a deck that people were underestimating. Like no one really, was prepared for it. And so it did really well. Today, I've been trying to get the Dragon Rayquaza deck to work because I figured that people would be playing the colorless Rayquaza deck, or people would be playing the colorless Rayquaza deck, and then people would be trying to counter that, or people would be countering Seismitoad, and those were the decks that I expected. I expected colorless Rayquaza, Seismitoad, and Groudon would kind of be this triangle of madness happening, but I was just continuously getting whooped by these Raichu decks, like non-EX decks on PTCGO with my ferocious dragon deck. I was like, doing 300 damage to a Raichu, and I was like, this is silly. Like, what am I, I'm dragon ascending, take one prize, right? And I was like, there's something to that. Raichu, really low maintenance attacker, and kind of had the same draw to me that kind of Crobat Landorus, Hawlucha, all them had with the one energy attachment. So and Raichu obviously being able to bust up to like 180 damage with a muscle band equipped is a big deal now. So he can kind of be the backbone of the deck with Skyfield. But I just spent the last month really trying to figure out the last night trying to figure out what the best partner would be for Raichu. The last few weeks I'd known that like Raichu would be pretty good, but last night I was like, I'm not playing this Dragon Rayquaza deck. It's way too high maintenance. It's not working out for me. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff I don't know what to expect, but I want to play something low maintenance, something that's just going to work, every time. So we started putting down the Rayquaza deck last night, or the Raichu deck last night, and we started out with Crobats in it. We tried putting Garbodor in it. We tried putting in with everybody, like who's Raichu's best friend. Yeah. And when we built the Crobat version, we had like a 2/2 Ninetales line in it, and it ended up being that I only ever got like one Crobat out, but Ninetales was great. Like Ninetales, I mean, like you get that stadium to stick out there, and he's knocking out everything all the time. Yeah. I decided that Ninetales would be his best partner, and then you get to do the Bright Look one if you make the line thicker. And Raichu's great with Bright Look because sometimes he doesn't always get the one hit knockout. You can pick off Shaymins, things like that. So we threw that one in there. I would love to put another one in there. I only got one right now. And then execute, and Shaymin kind of top the whole thing off, got that turbo engine going, get things going really quick. So even versus item lock decks, you could play a whole 8-minute first turn, just like kind of get everything set up and then sit back and just hope you hit your DCEs.
Yeah. And I mean, like we saw, those are the only energy you play, just 4 double colorless energy.
That's it.
Yeah. What was your thought process behind that? You don't even need basic energy?
You don't even. Well, we were building the skeleton list, right? And you obviously put the 4 double colorless in, and then we're like, we put the trainer's mails in, and we put the acrobikes in, and then we put the Ninetales in and the eggs in. By the time everything got filled up, there was like barely enough room. We played 2 switch cards, 1 Floatstone, 1 switch, and that's kind of like your bare minimum. Really, a Shaymin can Sky Return, and if someone's life-saving up Ninetales and not knocking it out, I don't really know what they're doing. So, I mean, really, that's it's all you need. But there's no room for basic energies. And then at the end of the day, it's you're gonna hit your double colorless energies more often because of Shaymin being able to just have massive draws, Colress for huge numbers. No one's countering your stadium,
right?
So it's been pretty easy to stream those double colorless energies, and really there's no time for attaching basic energies, and the basic energies clog the engine, the turbo engine up with all the as being a card you can't always play immediately. So you kind of just have to keep track of your 4 double colorless, and then always be wary of if you can trump card to throw one back in. It's always important, and ideally you attack 3 times and win the game. So that's kind of how it is.
Just 3 EXs. That's all you need to take down.
Yeah.
So what decks have you been playing against? I mean, this is a brand new format with a brand new set. Have you been playing against anything crazy, or has it been a lot of Seismitoad?
Well, lately it's been a lot of Seismitoad. I started off the day versus Verizian Genesect deck. Very nice player, but that was a very great matchup for me. Obviously, you're trading Raichus for Verizian. I was able to keep him from attacking with Genesect entirely with Bright Look and just, getting the Genesect up there and knocking it out one swing. Then I went and played against a. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen.
Have you played against any mega decks, anything like that?
I played against one. I forget what round 2 was, but I did play against a colorless Rayquaza round 3, which was he didn't play the Altaria, so I just kind of ran through it. And then from round 3 on, I've played against 4 Seismitoad Shaman decks back to back to back to back to back. So very impressed with how Raichu's hanging in there against the Seismitoad decks.
Yeah.
The idea, and I was talking to Chris Fulop last night, on our car ride here, because we were saying what is the correct balance between running a supporter engine and running the turbo item engine? How do you still make the Seismitoad matchup manageable? And I'm still running a fair amount of supporters in the deck, with a handful of Colress and Junipers and stuff, but he really said he said it best. He was like, you just run through your deck turn 1, get as many muscle bands on Pikachus as you can, and then what else do you need?
Yeah.
And so so that's kind of the strategy that's been working against Seismitoads, and I've played 4 Seismitoad Shaman decks in a row, and I've gotten very very fortunate. Things have been going well.
It's pretty impressive. Are there any decks you're kind of scared to play against, ones you don't want to run into?
Yeah, Aegislash, anything involving Aegislash.
Seems a little unwinnable,
Play only 4 double colorless energy, no way to, do any damage to an Aegislash EX. So if I were to run into something like that, it would go very poorly. Round 2, I played against Andrew Wambolt's Latios deck. That's very odd, very strange. The Latios, not even the new one, it was the old one that does Luster Purge for 150 or something. And he had Altarias in there, but it was just a bad trade with Raichu. Raichu could knock it out, but anyway, that's what I played against there. But, I don't want to play against Aegislash. I don't want to play against any metal deck. I don't really want to play against any fairy deck, like Gardevoir deck. Any fairy box deck's probably going to be running Aegislash, going to have a bad time. None of that. I just really wanted to play, Dragon decks, Groudon decks. I could kick it with Trevenant probably, so long as I maybe get to go first and they don't get a turn on Trevenant. But everything else seems pretty manageable.
So have you tested against decks with Mega Pokemon like Primal Groudon, stuff like that?
I haven't tested against a Primal Groudon deck yet, but I did test against Dragon Rayquaza last night, and it seems to be that if I can kind of get the dragon out and hit it once, or just soften it up, it's just he's very high maintenance. The times that I lost, it was because the Reshiram was able to get going with his first attack really quick and just kind of tear through my team, and before I was kind of just fumbling around to set up and couldn't quite get a knockout on it. I was playing against Kevin Baxter last night. We were doing a lot of testing. But yeah, no, I haven't played against a Groudon deck. I know that, it pretty much is going to come down to what my opening hands looks like. If my opening hand is a couple Shamans and no item draw or no supporter, then it's going to be, if I'm up against a Wobbuffet, I'm not going anywhere. So, but if I can get going, I should have a great matchup versus that, just because you're trading Raichus for EXs. And, and you're quicker. The deck's much quicker than the Groudon deck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're 7-0 at this point. Odds are you're going to make it to the next day.
I think it's looking pretty good. Let's try not to get disqualified or anything like that. I think I should be all right.
And, of course, tomorrow is the expanded format.
I know.
Are you prepared for that at all?
No. No, not at all. But I do know that players in Japan are playing in the black and white on format, and I've done a little bit of reading and looking into their format, and they still play Raichu. So that's at least on the table. I could just continue playing Raichu, but I think it'll kind of, Raichu is kind of like a surprise play today.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of Raichu decks at the top tables, and I think come tomorrow people might be a little more prepared for it. So we'll see how that goes. I'd like to play Raichu again. I'm having a lot of fun with the deck. It's great. He's very, very fun. I was joking with my friends this morning. Like if we just whooped the deck up last night. Like if I 0-2 dropped today, at least the Pokemon were cute. So
hey, you got to play with Pikachu. How awesome is that?
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes.
All right, well, you're 7-0 so far. You're doing pretty well for yourself, but good luck to you the rest of the way, Andrew. Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it, Kyle. Thanks again for the interview.
Probably see you tomorrow.
Hey, see you tomorrow.
All right, guys, stay tuned. We're going to take a little break and then come back with some deck analysis.